There is a horror you carry every day, but you've never noticed it. A horror so close it has become invisible. So natural it seems normal. You wake up at the same time, follow the same routine, think the same thoughts, feel the same emotions. And you believe this is living. But Gurdjieff discovered something terrifying. You are not human. You are a machine. And worse, you don't even know it. Imagine a robot so sophisticated it believes it is conscious. That has the illusion of choice. That thinks it's alive when it's merely executing programs. Now look in the mirror. Gurdjieff spent decades studying the human being and brought a warning that humanity rejected. Man is a machine. Everything he does, all his acts, words, thoughts, feelings, convictions, opinions and habits are the result of external influences. By himself, man cannot produce a single idea, a single action. If you felt anger hearing this, if something inside you protested, "No, I choose, I decide," that very reaction is mechanical. It's just another gear turning. Because the machine was programmed to defend the illusion that it's not a machine. It's the perfect defense. The sleep that defends its own sleep. Today you will discover the secret warning that Gurdjieff kept for his most advanced students. The warning that, once understood, can never be undone. You will see the horror of mechanicalness in action. In your life. And this vision may destroy everything you thought you knew about yourself. But perhaps, just perhaps, it can also set you free. Gurdjieff didn't start as a teacher. He was an obsessed seeker. He traveled through deserts, Tibetan monasteries, hidden Sufi schools, forgotten temples. He was looking for one thing, the secret of the real human being. And what he found horrified him. He discovered that the ordinary man has no real essence, has no permanent I, is just a complex machine responding to stimuli. The first evidence of mechanical horror is in your days. Observe. You wake up and immediately grab your phone. Why? I don't know, I just grabbed it. You drink coffee. Why? Because it's morning. You get irritated in traffic. Why? Because it's slow. None of these actions have you in them. They are just automatic reactions. Like a thermostat that turns on when it gets cold. Where are you in all this? Gurdjieff would do a brutal experiment with new students. He would ask, "Don't move your right arm for 1 hour." Seems simple, right? But within minutes, without realizing it, the person was scratching their head, adjusting their clothes, gesturing. The arm moved by itself. The person was shocked. "But I didn't want to move it." Exactly. The machine moved. You were not in control. You never were. The second sign of horror is in your thoughts. Stop now. Observe your mind for 30 seconds. What happens? Random thoughts arise. Memories, worries, fantasies. You didn't call them. They simply appear. Like unsolicited advertisements. And you believe this is you thinking. But it's not. Just automatic mental noise. The machine processing data. Gurdjieff would say, "Thoughts happen. Nobody thinks." People would become furious. "What do you mean nobody thinks?" "I think." But he would respond, "Then think of nothing for 2 minutes." Impossible. Thoughts keep flowing without permission. Like a radio you cannot turn off. You are not thinking. You are being thought. There is a brutal difference between these two things. The third sign, the most disturbing, is in your emotions. You don't choose them. They possess you. Someone criticizes you and anger explodes. You see something sad and you cry. You receive praise and you inflate. Where is your choice in this? Gurdjieff observed that the ordinary man is like a leaf in the emotional wind. There is no center. Only constant turbulence. He would tell the story of a man who promised every day to stop drinking. In the morning sincere, he would say, "Never again." At night drunk again. Which is the real one? Both. And neither. Because there is no real I making decisions. There are only different programs running at different times. The regret program in the morning. The addiction program at night. And nobody in command. Here is the secret warning that Gurdjieff would reveal only when students were ready. You have no soul. Yet. The soul, the real essence, the permanent being, this needs to be built. You are not born with it. You are born as an empty machine with potential. And most people die without ever having built anything beyond the machine. They are born machines and die machines. This is the horror. Not that you are a machine now, but that you can live 70, 80, 90 years and never be anything beyond that. Millions do exactly this. They work, marry, have children, grow old, all mechanically, like ants following chemical trails, without a moment of real consciousness, without ever having truly existed. Gurdjieff identified specific signs of mechanicalness. First, compulsive repetition. You say the same things, tell the same stories, react the same way. Your friends can predict your responses, because you are predictable, like an algorithm. Input, criticism, and receive, defense. Input, threat, and receive, fear. The machine doesn't surprise. Second, total identification. You watch a movie and are completely lost in it. Someone insults you and you can't think of anything else for hours. You read bad news and your day is ruined. Gurdjieff called this internal considering, being completely hypnotized by external impressions. The machine has no resistance. It absorbs everything and reacts. Third, lack of self-remembering. Try to remember yesterday hour by hour. Were you present? Or were you on autopilot? Most people realize with horror. Large chunks of the day simply disappeared. They functioned but they weren't there. Like driving home and not remembering the trip. The machine operated. But you, where were you? The fourth sign is the most terrible. The inability to do. How many times have you decided to change something and failed? How many plans never left the paper? How many promises have you broken to yourself? Gurdjieff would say, man cannot do. Everything happens. And this enraged people. They would point to their accomplishments. But he would ask, did you do it or did it happen through you? Think. Did you choose to be born? Did you choose your genetics, your family, your country, your language, the events that shaped your personality, the people who influenced your beliefs? Do you believe you chose your political opinions? They were programmed by the environment, your preferences, conditioning, your fears, past experiences, where in all of this is a real choice. Here's the part that breaks people. Even this moment you reading this can be mechanical. You can be resisting mechanically, or agreeing mechanically, or feeling mechanical curiosity. How do you know if there's something real happening or just gears turning? Gurdjieff had a test. Can you stop? Can you stop thinking now? Cannot. Can you stop feeling the next emotion that comes? Cannot. Can you guarantee you won't get irritated today? Cannot. So who is in control? The terrifying answer is nobody. There is process but there is no processor. There is action but there is no actor. The machine functions by itself. But Gurdjieff didn't bring only despair. He brought a path. And it begins with recognizing the horror completely. Not intellectually, viscerally. Seeing your own mechanicalness in action, moment after moment, until it hurts. Until you can no longer deny it. Until the illusion of control shatters. Only then can something be born. He called this the shock of self-realization. The moment when you see, not conceptually, but directly, I am a machine. And it's not thought. It's recognition. Like waking from a nightmare and realizing you were dreaming. In that moment of brutal clarity there is an opening. Possibility. Something beyond the machine can emerge. Gurdjieff taught specific exercises to create friction against mechanicalness. Self-observation without judgment. Observe the machine functioning. Don't fix it. Don't criticize it. Just see. Because when you truly see, something changes. The observation itself introduces an element that is not mechanical. Base. A witness. He also taught work against habitual functioning. Do the opposite of the impulse. If you want to complain, stay silent. If you want to stay still, move. If you always turn right, turn left. Why? Because each habit is a gear. Breaking habits create space for something new. For real choice. For will. The final secret warning that Gurdjieff gave was this: time is running out. Not in a mystical way. Literally. Each day you live mechanically, the gears become more rigid. The patterns deeper. The possibility of awakening diminishes. It's like clay drying. There is a window, and it is closing. He would observe people at 70 trying to change and would say brutally, "Too late. The machine is crystallized." This wasn't cruelty. It was honesty. Because there is a point where mechanicalness becomes permanent. Where the programs have been running so long they've become the structure itself. You cannot reformat a hard drive that has turned to concrete. That's why the sense of urgency. That's why Gurdjieff was so hard on students who wanted to think about it, or start later. He knew, later never comes. The machine always finds excuses to postpone. When I have time. When things calm down. When I'm ready. These are postponement programs. The machine protecting the machine. So here's the naked truth. Are you reading this mechanically or with real presence? Are you feeling programmed curiosity or genuine interest? And more importantly, what are you going to do with this? Because information doesn't change anything. Intellectual knowledge about mechanicalness is just more mechanics. More data in the system. What changes is action. Not mechanical action. Conscious action. And the first possible conscious action is brutal in its simplicity. Observe. Feel your body. Notice your breathing. Perceive the thoughts. Don't do anything with them. Just be present. For 5 seconds. That's all. 5 seconds of real presence in an ocean of mechanicalness. Gurdjieff said these moments are seeds. A seed doesn't look like much. But it contains an entire tree. A moment of real presence doesn't destroy the machine. But it plants something that can grow. Something that is not mechanical. And if you nurture this, if you choose presence repeatedly, eventually there is a critical mass. The horror of being mechanical is only surpassed by another horror. Dying without ever having been real. Without ever having been truly present. Without ever having made a true choice. This is what Gurdjieff feared for humanity. Billions of machines being born, functioning and breaking down, without ever having a real inhabitant. But you are still here. There is still time. There is still possibility. The secret warning is not to scare you into action. It is to awaken you to reality. You are a machine. In this moment. But you don't need to remain one. There is something in you that can observe the machine. This observation is not mechanical. It is the beginning of the real. So stop. Feel your hands. Hear the sounds around you. Notice that you are breathing. That is you. Not the thoughts about you. Not the emotions about the situation. But the presence that witnesses all of this. This presence is fragile. It disappears in seconds. The machine retakes control. But for an instant you were truly here. And Gurdjieff promised. If you collect these moments, if you fight for presence not once but 1,000 times, 10,000 times, something begins to change. Not dramatically. Not all at once. But like water shaping stone. Drop by drop. Moment by moment. Until one day you realize. There is someone here. Not just process, but being. Gurdjieff's secret warning is simple but devastating. You are alive but you are not living. You exist but you are not present. You function but you are not conscious. And the time to change this is not tomorrow. It is not when you finish listening to this. It is now. In this moment. Because this moment is the only one that is not mechanical. It is the only one where real choice is possible. And it is slipping away while you think about it.